are. Lonesome Prairie Publications. You may pass it by. This is a local Casper guy. In fact, he works over at Casper College. Tell me a little bit about these publications.
Well,
that has your name on it. Is that your name?
On it.
Okay, tell me about it.
So I guess I got interested in jotting down some of the stories my grandparents told me probably about 20 years ago, and I basically just started writing. And I just started researching, and I was getting into some of the stories that I had heard about where I grew up in southeast Colorado. And so I started digging into newspaper databases. A lot of my books are letters that were published. When people would come west, they would write about what they saw and send it back home to their hometown newspaper, and the newspaper would publish it. And so as I dug into those newspaper databases, I loved it, and I thought if I like it, somebody else is going to as well. And so I started compiling my research. And that's really what I've got.
So how many books? How many books? 14 books.
Yep.
And they're a historical perspective of Wyoming.
It's all.
Now, some of them famous, some of them infamous, some of them you don't know anything about.
Well, I know something about them now. The research, and so some of them are just different places that I've lived. It's not. I mean, it's not.
People
all...
are most interested, especially here, seeing a bar. They're most interested in what? Why would they buy something like this? Because they just want to know more about Wyoming.
Yeah, and they're not all about Wyoming.
They want to fill in some blanks.
It's about the American West in general. But again, I do have a couple of titles that are very much Wyoming centric. And so, I mean, if you want to fill in some of the blanks about what happened in 1880s or 1870s Wyoming, you can find that. And then I've got several other things that are very, very American West centric.
So you take a good slice of what, the 1800s?
A lot of my focus has been on the 1880s. And it's partly because it's research related to the story of a town called Boston, Colorado, where my family farms and ranches to this day. And I'd heard the stories my whole life. The reason I got started on the Wyoming books is part of that story. There's a regulator for the Prairie Cattle Company named Bill Thompson, who had a guy that rode with him who came to Wyoming and was hung for stealing horses. And I was searching for that. I never really found what I was looking for. So I guess it was a failed research project. I'm not sure. But again, I ended up with some really amazing first-person history.
Fascinating guy. You might want to come up and talk to Ken, because his other job is a little more demure in IT. Is that right?
Yeah.
So this is where you take the hat off and you start telling it like it is.
This is way more fun than some of my day job stuff. I love my day job, but again, this is something.
But secretly
I really
at night he puts the cap on and he's writing away. Are you writing something else right now?
I actually finished. This is my most. Actually, I published this week. It's a story from the time we lived in southwest Oklahoma. The story of the Abernathy boys is pretty amazing because when they were 5 and 9 years old, they rode alone from Guthrie, Oklahoma to Santa Fe, New Mexico. The next year, when they were all of 6 and 10 years old, they rode from southwest Oklahoma to New York City. Well, the purpose, their father was a U.S. Marshal, and he was also a Rough Rider under Teddy Roosevelt. And so they asked their dad if they could go greet Roosevelt when he was coming back from Africa on a safari. And that's the gist of my latest book.
This sounds like a movie, sir. I hope you're in on it, okay?
It has a movie.
Will you let me know when it makes the theater? Because
I will.
This is something else. That's quite a story.
And we document it because my research is newspaper focused. I basically documented their trips via the newspapers of the time.
Ted, very interesting talking to you. Thanks for talking with us.
Thanks for stopping.
I wish you well on that. Is there a website, a web page? case they don't catch it and see it online?
Yeah, I mean, lonesomeprairie.com, but everything is on Amazon. And you can search Kent Brooks Books on Amazon and find all of it.
Never knew you were going to meet Kent. I'm glad we met. Thanks.
It's a pleasure.